Ja, einen wunderschönen guten Morgen, liebe Gäste des avodaq Experience Days. Ich freue mich, Sie heute hier begrüßen zu dürfen. Mein Name ist Andreas Kusch. Ich bin einer der Gründer und CEO der avodaq. Wir haben heute ein spannendes Programm. Wir haben heute auch eine spannende Umgebung. Wir haben uns hier ausgebreitet in unserem neuen virtuellen Studio extra für Sie, um einen kurzweiligen Verlauf des Tages zu arrangieren. Und wir haben einen ganz starken Anfang mit unserem Opening Guest Snorre Kjesbu. Snorre ist Senior Vice President und General Manager für Webex Devices bei Cisco Systems. Er begann seine Karriere in England als Student der Elektronik und hat das Ganze auch beendet mit einem Master of Science in Electronics and Mobile Communication. Ich glaube sogar, er hält einige Patente in diesem Umfeld, die er nämlich mit seinem ersten Arbeitgeber, der ABB, gemeinsam erstellt hat. Er hat auch einige Zeit in Deutschland verbracht. Jedoch reicht es nicht ganz, dass wir heute das Interview hier in Deutsch führen. Deswegen switche ich gleich über ins Englische. 2003 hat Snorre angefangen bei Tandberg zu arbeiten, unserer besten Videokonferenzfirma aus der damaligen Zeit, die ja 2010 durch Cisco übernommen worden ist, und seitdem ist er einer der wichtigsten Manager in diesem gesamten Bereich Cisco Webex und Video End Devices und ein wahrer Experte, wie man ihn kaum ein zweites Mal auf der Welt finden kann. Von daher, ich freue mich sehr. Snorre, hello to Norway, hello to Oslo. How are you doing today?
Vielen Dank und ganz gut.
Das ist schön. Snorre, I have had a quick view on your LinkedIn profile. And I saw the following statement. I'm passionate about design, providing authentic user experiences and connecting the world. I'm driven by a relentless determination to take innovation to a higher level and create experiences of beauty. How do you live these passions in your role at Cisco?
You know, design is not only about what you do at work, but it's almost a passion for me. It's a passion that I have both privately, but it's also been a passion that's followed me professionally throughout the career. And for me, design is about having objects that are refined, but it's also objects that clearly communicate what they do. Some of the best design ever is actually an axe. An axe tells you exactly what it's doing. It has beauty because of its simplicity. And when we are designing great video products here at Cisco, we are thinking that the products should radiate their capabilities. And you will see that when you see them, you realize they have good audio, they have good video, but they're also radiating approachability. It should be able to walk up to them, use them. It should not be standoff at all. And one key word, actually, when we talk about design, is we talk about forgiving. And what I mean by forgiving means that it should do what you expect it to do. And it should warn you when you're about to do something that can have impact on the entire meeting. For instance, if you're exiting a meeting, you will get a choice or whether you're going to end the meeting for all or assign another meeting host. And that's what we think about with forgiving as well. So for us, design is both about the physical and the industrial design, but it's also about the user experience and how the user can really be drawn into the product, and things should do what you expect it to do. Just like an axe, you know how it works when you put it in your hand. Just with our gear, you know what it's doing when you're looking at that interface, or when you're looking at our apps. They do what you expect them to do. That's what great design is all about, and it's a passion, and something that is really in my DNA.
Oh, that is great. I think it's really a gift if you are able to share your inner hobbies and your inner passion with your professional career. And actually, I see the design and I see the user interface, and I think it is very user tolerant. And you mentioned this fact. And I also see an enormous amount of quality in it. So I would be eager. So how do you make it happen that the quality and the beauty find together? Because you work in a team and you probably have tough engineers and you have tough designers. And how do you manage that they can find a good way to produce a great product?
You know, we have the best engineers and the best designers. That's the beauty of it. And one of the really important things for us is the Red Dot Design Awards. And the other thing, the Red Dot Design Awards. And the other thing that's been important to us when it comes to quality, like you just asked about, is that is not something you can test in at the end. Quality is a philosophy. Quality is about thinking about it from the start. Quality is about designing it into the product. Quality is about attention to detail. Quality is about thinking about the whole user journey when you're creating these products. And one of the things that I'm very, very proud to say is that the team here has a very, very tight focus on quality in every aspect. That means that we don't say that our products have there's no backside to our product. We call it the second front. The back of a product should be as nice as the front of the product. The inside should be as nice as the outside. You will see that if you ever open up a Cisco product, that it's super tidy on the inside, just like it is on the outside. And then we don't leave any stone unturned. On a number of our products, we have fabric. To get fabric with complete straight line, both vertically and horizontally, is very difficult. And I recall a morning when I got into the office and the designers had put over 80 different sheets of fabric in different gray with different texture all over my office. And we were crawling around for an entire morning looking at to compare and compare and compare and compare. And they had a couple candidates. And that ended up, and that's where the attention to detail is that you go in and you don't go for 1 or 2 or 3 samples. We had 80 samples all over to just look at that fabric. Likewise on software. One of the key things with quality on software is to be able to design that quality in. But it's also about having the right environment. So here we can check code. It is automatically tested, and we can release code out of Cisco on the video gear within an hour. And that means that we can go completely from A to Z within an hour with all tests run. And we have continuous deployment of code where we can do that. And that's again back to that really strict focus on quality in every aspect, both hardware, software, design, and it comes from a culture of attention to detail.
Yeah, believe me, I love to hear that, because this really is something that links us together. I'm really keen on quality as well. So it's most important that you deliver what you promise and that you are able to create great products at all times. Yeah. What I realize, Snorre, and this is something, it's a heritage of this COVID crisis. You know, we all sit the whole day in front of our video conference device, and I attend so many, and I see a lot of people in front of their laptops, and they are really, I would say, they do not stand in a good light. You can see that, they have a lot of shadow, the light is not good, but also the setup at all in total is not really working well. And after a while, it's really strange for the attendees to follow the whole time staring at this kind of odd situation. How do you at Cisco address this topic in your product?
So first of all, I would like to say that we address it together. I think the work that professional partners like avodaq is doing is really helping the end customers, especially when it comes to room installations, whether that is large rooms or mid-sized rooms or even collaboration spaces and huddle spaces. To have professional people to help with that is absolutely key. The second thing we're doing is that we are designing our products so that we always use the highest quality cameras and the highest quality sensors. And, you know, there's no way around having good glass and good sensors for the camera. That is a prerequisite. And it's a prerequisite for getting a great picture. So on a lot of our equipment, we actually use 5K sensors on some of it. We even have 4 of those 5K sensors with high quality glass that are from the best producers of glass on the planet and the best producers of the lenses on the planet. That helps a lot on the image quality. But then there is basically a physical fact that there is only a maximum amount of difference between the lowest and the highest light in an image, which means that you need to get some kind of even distribution. So if people are facing a window, this will typically be a lot better than if the window is behind you. And we even have worked on algorithms now where we are able to detect that the window is behind you and then adjust the light based on people's faces. We're also working on technology, and we have it out in our most recent USB camera, where we are able to, through advanced algorithms, amplify the light that's in the room and then filter out the noise you get when you do that in order to have a good image also in low light scenarios. So I think that those are kind of for the image itself. I would argue that there are, you know, one, work with a professional partner. That's always a good thing. Make sure you buy equipment that has good cameras, good sensors, and then work with a company like Cisco in this case that has worked and developed the algorithms for being able to compensate for a lot of these different scenarios. The other thing we're working on that I think is super exciting is that we're working on a lot of machine learning algorithms and AI algorithms that we use, one, to identify people, then blur the background or insert a different background if you need that. But more importantly, through an acquisition we made in the fall of a company called Babel Labs, we have been able to introduce an AI-based noise filtering mechanism, which basically filters out all noise, all type of audio that isn't a spoken voice, which means that if your dog is barking, we will not hear it in a video call. Even if a baby is crying, that will not be heard on a video call. I'm not sure whether that is good or bad, but it's at least not disturbing the others on the call. Because one of the things
that I'm loving it.
Yeah.
You can use a vacuum cleaner in the background and nobody is hurt by distortion.
Exactly. I mean, you can even dry your hair in the meeting and it won't be heard. You might get some other strange comments on that. But our thinking is the following. Because now during COVID, most people have worked from home. Pre-COVID, a lot more people come back into the office, but only for maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week. And then that means there still will be a lot of people working from home all the time, which also means that every meeting will have a remote participant. And our calculation is that before COVID, 8% of meetings had a remote participant. Pre-COVID, we expect over 90% of meetings will have a remote participant. That means that every meeting will have a remote participant. But how do we avoid building a barrier between that 1 or 2 people sitting at home and people sitting in a meeting room? How do you make sure those are on the same playing field going forward? And I think that what you just alluded to with your question is video has to be great, audio has to be great. We must be able to filter out all types of noise. And then we are working on technology as well where we're able to, and we call that people focus, where we're even able to take individual people in a meeting room and magnify those for people that sits at home, in order to avoid that we bring that barrier up between people working remotely and people who are in the office. So sorry about the long answer to that, but I get very passionate about what we're doing here.
And I'm understanding it, because this is really a big issue, that you have support from technology, which allows you to have a better user experience. Actually, our new Panorama immersive system is coupled with our lighting system from Signify, which is a partner of Cisco. I know that you have a vital partnership there. And whenever, I'm entering the room, the lights switches on automatically. I realize that this is not often the case, so that people forget to switch on the lights, because it's, you have daylight outside. And that certainly means that you have, the user itself is forgetting something. And the technology makes sure that you have a perfect environment. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is necessary. And we are back to user fault tolerant. So how do we make sure that technology is really working for us without the hassle of operating the system? And by the way, the speech control, I'm loving it too, because I do not have to do anything, or I do not have to learn how to operate the systems. That is really great. Snorre, I have an, yeah? Oh, yeah.
And if I can just add one thing there, Andreas, it's like, this is like a great Hollywood movie where you have that strong main actor, right? What collaboration is the supporting actor to make that great actor really good. The better we can make the great actor, which is the meeting or the people that are meeting, then we're doing our job. We should ideally just be supporting the meeting. We should ideally, our technology should be as invisible as possible. And as you spoke about, automated light or great algorithms can help that. And with the right user experience and design, we can be that great supporting actor for the real business, which is the real business of the companies that are using the collaboration solutions.
Yeah, we are just servants of our clients. And I think this is clear. And here comes everything together: the environment, the people, and the technology to the best service for our customers. But our customers, and this is a point that is really is also driven by COVID. They get all our clients get invited to so many different video conferences, and we have Zoom, we have Microsoft, we have so many players in the field. And it's not in their control if they attend a WebEx meeting or if they attend a Zoom meeting, because they are invited by others. And I often get the question, do Cisco video end devices, do they support other vendors' video conference technology smoothly?
Yeah, so we do. And let me talk a little bit about interoperability, because it's a key question. I think it's an illusion to believe that we will only do meetings on one platform. And Cisco has been driving standardization in this space for well over a decade. And with Tamberg, actually, we've been doing it for 3 decades. Being the inventors and co-inventors of things like H263, 264, 265, but also working hard on other codecs and working with WebRTC and other type of technologies. It is in our DNA to be interoperable. And even myself, I'm obviously mostly in Cisco WebEx meetings, but sometimes I have a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting. And for me, those meetings come up on my Desk Pro in my home office with a one button to push, just like my Cisco meetings. That's working really well for me, even if probably my WebEx meetings are outnumbering the others 49 to 50 or 49 to 1 on 50 meetings. we have that. But I think that one thing that we should make sure is that we keep that pressure up on all the players in the industry. I hope the customer keeps the pressure up on Cisco, but also keep the pressure up on our competitors to ensure that we keep that interoperability, that you can be interoperable. Because I think we want more than one solution. We want to make sure things are not in silos. And while you might be using Cisco for all of your daily tasks at work, you might want to connect with your doctor or your bank or someone that's using another solution. And I think interoperability is paramount. And I promise you, and I promise all of your customers, that we are going to drive interoperability every day. And that is who we are and what we want to do. And then it will be like you can see even in the phone world that sometimes you will have more features when you're running Cisco on Cisco. But all of the main features should always be interoperable. That is our belief, and that's what we are developing.
Snorre, exactly. This is a message I think everyone today wants to hear from you, and I think this is a great point that you described how Cisco's philosophy is in this case. And I certainly understand, and I think everyone understands that this is taking a little bit of time, but we have interoperability already, but I think we can see more improvements in the future. And we have just a couple of minutes left, and there's another question that is really interesting our audience today, and this is the big question about being in the cloud or being on-prem. And that we have some regulations in Europe especially, and that we have constraints by law. And we'd like to hear from you what is going to happen in the future. We have two systems right now, and what is Cisco's way?
So Cisco's way is both, and also a third one, which is a hybrid between being on-premise and cloud at the same time by being cloud connected through the edge, and that's something we can do. But on-premise is a key business to us, and we continue to develop that. And there are certain very obvious use cases for it. For instance, the military or other areas that are very, very focused on being a closed group. But the cloud gives a lot of advantages. It gives a lot of advantages because you can exchange a lot more information. You can exchange a lot of setups that allows for a number of applications and features that you could not have on premise. So if I was on the customer side today, I would shift and get to the cloud if possible, either by connecting straight to the cloud or by going through the edge, by having partly an on-prem and partly a cloud solution. And as you said, there are different type of legislations around and data integrity and stuff like that, and we can work with that, and we have solutions for Germany as well. And I think that there isn't one right answer, but cloud offers a lot more functionality than you can get on-prem, basically because of the information you can exchange.
Yeah, I can imagine that, because certainly this is a much larger platform and it offers many more features. But I think it is a very important message to Cisco that on-prem is still a big requirement here, because often some clients do not have the choice, so there is no option into the cloud. And here I'm the advocate of our clients, so don't forget it. And I hear that you offer both, and that we can count on Cisco in the future about this strategy being on both sides of the wall. Yeah, we have already met our timeline. So our last question, Snorre, I would like to know which is your most preferred Cisco WebEx end device. What do you love the most?
That would be that's unfair on me though. That would be like asking who's my favorite child. I mean, that's an impossible question to ask. I will have to say depends on the use case. I think you need great desk units like the Desk Pro. I probably spend most time on that one. But I think the kits are just amazing. I mean, this recording is on a kit actually, straight off, and basically just a kit. And you know, for some of my most important meetings, the panorama is really doing the trick. But you know, I can't select between my children. I can't say that one is more intelligent or pretty than the others. I love them all.
Okay, thank you, Snorre. Thank you for your time. And I think this is a great statement for the end of this session. Bye-bye to Oslo, and see you next time, hopefully in person in Germany. And I'd like to shift over to our next session, which is about collaboration. And I hope to see you soon in our next session. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.